Leave your haram relationship. Allah tells us in the Quran, tell the believing men that they must lower their gazes, and tell the believing women that they must lower their gazes. My brother and my sister, there is only halal and haram. There is no in between. So by you being in a haram relationship, whether it's just texting on the phone or even a phone call or even just giving a compliment here and there, that is haram. There is no in between. You need to end that haram relationship. It might be tough. I know it might be tough, but you have to do it for the sake of Allah. Listen to what Allah tells us in the Quran. He tells us we need to lower our gaze and think about a haram relationship. It might start off as something innocent. Like I said, through texting, then it might turn into phone calls. Next thing you know, you're probably going out and linking up, meeting with each other, going on a date, then touching hands, then hugging, and so on. You get the point. So what I'm trying to say is there is only halal and haram. There's no in between. I'm repeating that because that is the key point that I want to get across to you. You need to end this haram relationship now before it's too late, before it escalates and before it goes to something where you have both fallen in love. You might think it's love, but it could be perhaps lust. It could perhaps you both going through puberty, or your hormones are just raging and you just feel like you need a companion. Allah also tells us in the Quran, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا, don't even come close to zina, unlawful sexual relations. Now, by you being in a haram relationship, you're literally coming close to zina. You're basically handshaking zina and saying, look, zina, I'm not coming close to you, but I am coming close to you. Please allow me to not fall into any traps. It's like a stupid thing to do. And I know it's hard in the day and age we're living in, but we must fear Allah. Allah is watching us. We need to remember there's another verse in the Quran. Allah tells us, أَلَمْ يَعْلَمْ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ يَرَى. Does he not know that Allah is watching him? And this goes for the sisters as well. Allah is watching you. Allah is watching me. Allah is watching us all. So next time you feel like going out, meeting someone, talking to someone, flirting with someone, remember these verses of the Quran. The Quran is the words of Allah. Allah is telling us directly, don't come close to zina, don't come close to haram relationships, you know. And this advice is to myself first. So my brother and my sister, remember the verses of the Quran, ponder upon the verses of the Quran and ask yourself, what I'm doing right now, is this something that's going to benefit me? Or is it something that's going to lead me to destruction? Because sooner or later, what's going to happen is your heart is going to become in deep love with this person and you're going to be donating your heart to this person, and you don't want to do that, and it might end in tears. And like this quote says here, the only relationship worth crying over is the one between you and Allah. So my brother and my sister, I ask you, how is your relationship with Allah? Do you love that person more than you love Allah? You might say, no, how can I love that person more than Allah? Well, I can say to you, why is your actions not showing that you love Allah? And this is a lesson to myself, that we should love Allah more than anything and everything. Even when you're married, love Allah more than your spouse. Allah comes first, always remember that. Also, listen to these verses by Abu Adam's Nasheed, Broken Heart.
Don't lose hope and stay strong. Keep your head up, to God you belong. Ask for forgiveness for all the wrong. God will stay with you lifelong. Your heart may be broken, but it can be mended with time and then awakened by the person ordained for you. By them your heart will be opened. Cry to your Lord, from him you will be heard. By him you will be truly adored. To him speak every sentence, every word. He will be there in every accord. Everything will eventually become better.